What do you think is the ideal duration for a comprehensive course on transforming workplace culture, leadership, or both?
Yeah, well, it depends a little bit on how long people already are working together, how good of a understanding they have with each other. If you're setting up a complete new organization, then it should probably take a little bit longer. But if you are already having an established organization where people are known to each other, they have a certain they know what they can or cannot do with each other, then it maybe also be shorter. But if you want to change the organization like considerably, then of course you're again longer. So it's I think not, there is no straightforward answer on that. If it's needed, like uh, maybe you do like every Monday and Tuesday for a certain time period until you have established it, or you say, okay, well, this is 1 week and you're finished with it. I'm not so sure. So I'm not so sure there is a clear and concise answer to your
Hmm.
question.
Right.
And you can actually do iterations on that, or maybe say, okay, well, we do 2 days in the beginning, and then maybe after a month you do another 2 days. And if you see the need to intensify that, because you have to, the thing that you always have to be careful on is that the day-to-day work, of course, has a kind of can sometimes obstruct these kind of things, but you have
Hmm.
to concentrate and say, okay, well, this is a priority, and it may not be a direct added value to the product that you actually are intending to establish or to make, but it's something that is needed for the company, and that has a higher priority than the thing that you actually try to establish. Of course, if there's a deadline for a customer, you might be doing this after the deadline of for the
Right.
customer, of course, because you cannot dissatisfy your customer. But
Right.
it's a I think it's a thing that you do for the company, and as a CEO, you should be really knowing to establish this for all those for your whole organization, and it needs to
Right.
have a kind of priority, and it
Right.
shouldn't take all time, of course, because otherwise you're just talking about it, and but it should be, you should be able to actually do it right. And if you
Hmm.
do it half, it's like the 90% that you already mentioned, then it's going to fail,
Hmm.
and you don't
Hmm.
want to spend a lot of time, because these are things which are costing a lot of money.
Hmm.
Um, so you want to succeed, and you want to be in the 10% and not in the 90%. Well, what I already mentioned is that if you are an established company, you are trying to establish something new, and you already know each other, then you may need to learn the tool sets that you can actually use in changing your culture. Or well, actually, you have to establish first the inside of the people, what is actually going on, what is good, and what should be improved. Because
Hmm.
only if people are intrinsically knowledgeable about what is actually not going quite well, then you can actually change it. If the people are saying, well, actually, this is like the 1% extra that we can actually do, then it's probably not going to happen. If the people need
Hmm.
to buy in what is going on, so establishing that is the key. So the part of knowing what is actually needed to change. And
Hmm.
from that, it's a question, okay, do the people already know each other very well, or do you want to set up a complete new organization? So if you want to set up a complete new organization, for instance, for a new thing, new product, new product line or whatever, you probably need a full new organization. And then maybe people are coming from everywhere which do not know each other. So you can actually use this to actually establish the culture from the beginning, instead of changing the culture that you actually are is in the company already.
That may be shorter in that because you don't have a way of interacting already. You go, okay, here's the rules we play by, or here's the company or organization we're going to be, so that by doing that, you're not having to break habits or face resistance to change. It's like, that hasn't how I did it for the last 20 years. That may be harder than simply saying, okay, we're getting you all together as a new organization or a new department. Here's the way it will be done in this department or this organization. So it might be easier just to start with a good culture rather than to fix a broken one.
Yeah, I think you're actually right. And to change something is harder than to establish it from the beginning. On the other hand, if you're trying to set up a new product line or something, a new kind of department or whatever, you're actually taking probably the people from the old organization already. So you already have like a kind of bias within those people about the culture. So it made both have a change in it. If you're setting up a complete new company, then you can establish it from the beginning.
Right. Yeah. So